There we go.
We're coming into focus. Week 9 of National Football League. We did skip a show last week, but Brian, I think he was on the rag. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Week 9, Big Pick 4, the show where the experts, Brian and Dan, will give you the best 4 picks for tomorrow's Sunday NFL games, to include 2 combined picks, followed by the Big Dan guarantee and the Big Brian guarantee. We kick off the show every week by doing a short recap, and let me just say this, that we've got 2 weeks to recap, so we're not going to do a lot on the recap, but 2 weeks ago Brian did pull his guarantee out of his ass in the last 2.5 minutes of the game. And Brian, did you do a Tebow? Did you get down on your knee and kneel after that? Yeah, Brian Tebowed, because in the last 2.5 minutes, not even Mr. Guarantee himself believed that he was going to cover that spread. So that was amazing. And the other thing that was unprecedented was if we had done the show last week, I was going to give a guarantee pick, which is something I have never done in the history of the show. And it's eating me up inside now because my guarantee was the Rams.
Oh, get out of here.
To beat New Orleans. But listen to my analysis. New Orleans could only put up 62 points on the board the prior week. I mean, that's not enough offense to beat the Rams on any Sunday.
Except for the first 6.
Can you guys see the Week 8?
Yeah.
So you have any more comments? 2-2, and we're even now on the guarantees. So any comments?
I mentioned this to Dan earlier. My only real comment is that the Giants didn't show up in the first half. I don't know what they were doing. I think they thought they could just show up and
to beat the Browns by 10. Everything is good in Dan land, so I'm happy.
It's Dan land now?
That's right.
So the overall now is even with one push, basically.
No.
Win.
Guaranteed that Dan screwed up.
Audience, my brother Scott is a moron. That was a win. So disregard anything he says about the overall.
There we go. Look, 16-15 and a push.
No, it's 17 and 15. It should be 17 and 15. See, I told you we're 2 games over. Didn't I say that today?
And look, he gave you a push. 3 and 4 the push.
Fuck you.
So there you have it.
I'm 4 and 4, audience. 4 and 4.
The experts are. Oh, where's my video? Hang on, I gotta show my own video. Okay, so the experts are even on the season. Let's just call it even. I mean, a push is a push. It's not a winner or a loss. So we're even on the season. But as always, prior to starting or to kicking off with the first, where'd my video go? Oh, there it goes. Prior to kicking off with the first combined pick, we always start off with the Vag of the Week by Brother Dan. Let's have it.
Well, we had several candidates this week. We had Orlando Mare, who was a 22-yard field goal this week, the Panthers. We had the Dallas receivers fighting with each other on the sidelines. But I decided to go with Chris Johnson this week. After his long holdout and all his gripping and moaning and griping and complaining, he's averaging like 2.5 yards a carry this season. He's not going to get to 1,000 yards for the year instead of 2,000 that he predicted. So he
might get benched.
Yeah, he might get benched for 100th round pick Javon Ringer. So he's terrible. So he's the badge of the week for all of his complaining and griping leading up to his contract extension and not coming through and not performing up to his contract that he wanted. So he stinks.
I'd like to do something unprecedented here. I would also like to nominate myself as badge of the week for not walking in the rain. I apologize to my audience, especially the ladies who love Big B. The ladies like to call me Big Stud B. I'd like to apologize. I will take a runner-up nominee for the badge of the week. I apologize.
Definitely. Can't walk in the rain. Unbelievable.
I melt in the rain.
Yes, thank you, because I was going to nominate you had you not messed up, had you not manned up. So thank you for that. So we're going to roll into week 9, pick 1 combined, presented by the guru, Dan.
All right, our first pick is Seattle and Dallas. Dallas is favored by 11. This is pretty simple. Dallas is pissed off after being crushed on national TV by the Eagles last week. Seattle's 1-6-1 against the spread in their last 8 road games and 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 versus Dallas. Seattle's 1-3 on the road. They have either Tavares Jackson or Charlie Whitehurst as their quarterback, which is just a bad combination. It's like the two stooges. Seattle only rushes for 77 yards a game. They've allowed 28 sacks, and DeMarcus Ware leads the league in sacks with 12. The last time the Cowboys faced Jackson, he was 6 for 19 for 72 yards, and Seattle only averages 15 points a game. So for all these reasons, the Cowboys should roll in this game. They're upset, and Seattle stinks.
So that's it. The first pick of week 9. Now that we've recontinued the show, being that there's no inclement weather in Florida tonight. So
I deserve it.
It was only raining.
Well, if he was drunk, he'd probably come out in the rain, but he wasn't drunk enough. So we're going to go into the second combined pick presented by Guru Brian. Let's have
I'm going to take the Giants plus 8.5. They're playing at New England. I just have a few stats here. I'd like to start off by saying that the Giants are 4th in the NFL passing offense, and the New England defense is 32nd against the pass. I'd also like to say the Giants lead the league in sacks, and now they're healthy on the defensive line with Osi Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, and Pierre Paul. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Brady. He's not going to have a lot of time to throw the ball. Plus, New England also is 18th rushing offense. So they're pretty much a one-dimensional team, and I think the Giants are going to be able to tee off on Brady. I think New England's going to win. I just don't think they're going to cover the 8.5 points. I see it being 24-21 Patriots. I just think the Giants don't get enough credit. I don't think a 5-2 team should ever be 8.5 points down spread. I think the Giants are better than that. So that's my analysis.
So the second pick of the week, Brian and Dan have put their credibility on Little Lord Fauntleroy to lead the Giants against the Patriots, and some of that may have been looking at the Patriots loss last week, right? I mean, are you seeing a trend here?
Yeah, their defense. They call it a sieve.
Yeah, their defense stinks. They're not going to stop anybody. The Giants might do something similar to the Steelers did to run them out.
They let Dan was saying earlier. They let Chad Henne from the Dolphins throw for 400 yards. So
yeah, he's terrible.
He's horrible. So it's going to be a win for the Patriots, but I just think 8.5 is a big spread.
And as much as it pains us to admit this, Sheila has actually played really well lately.
He's the third-rated passer in the league right now.
Let me remind you of something. Belichick is a genius defensive coordinator. How soon we forget history here,
Yeah,
fellas.
because it's
Well,
history.
Hey, but you know what? You gotta live in the moment, right? Right, Brother Scott?
That's
Gotta live
right.
in the moment. What have you done for me lately? And they're 30 seconds. Numbers don't lie.
All right, so we're gonna move on to this week's sponsor, and as always, please patronize our sponsors because that's what keeps the show on the air for all you fans.
Hey, Shauna, is my blushing bride here?
Nope, sorry, just missed her. You can put that right there, though. I'm actually glad that we have a moment alone together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah? I've had this huge crush on you. Before you and my sister get married, I'd like to have you once for myself. I promise. It'll be our little secret. I'll be upstairs.
Senator Brewster.
I had to know what kind of man you were before I gave away my little girl. You passed the test. I'm proud to call you son.
Lesson learned? Always keep Trojans in your car.
Oh, honey, you left your car door open.
Oh, that's okay. I got it.
Okay, we're back,
It's much better.
ready for week 9 guarantee, starting with the big D guarantee. Let me just say up front that the Gurus are even. They're both 500 in their guarantees, so someone needs to pull ahead here and show some dominance as we continue on with where are we at in the season? We're
Hey, Scott, did you hear about me and Dan's bet? The
No.
winner of the Big B, Big D gets the GIMP. So if I beat Dan, I get to take his GIMP back to my apartment.
We'll be the first person ever to visit an apartment since we left last year after we did the Puck Pass and Kick.
wow, yeah.
Hopefully, Brian has toilet paper this
We'll
time.
have to have the GIMP on the Super Bowl show. We have to make it. We have to put on his best Playtex outfit.
You know, we get Brian for his birthday next year.
All right, so we are about to lead in to guarantee number 1. Brother
All right,
Dan, let's have it.
my Big D guarantee this week is Atlanta at Indianapolis. Atlanta is giving 7 points. The Indianapolis defense is terrible. They only give up 62 points to the Saints this year. They're giving up an average of 31.5 points a game, over 400 yards a game, and they are 31st versus the run, giving up 144 rush yards per game. Atlanta only rushes for 112 yards per game, but Michael Turner's had a big game. Atlanta has only allowed 31 points in the last 2 games, 16 and 17. Atlanta has lost 3 straight to Indianapolis, and I think 14 of the last 18. But Peyton Manning's not there. Curtis Painter's terrible. Julio Jones is back. The Colts are 30th in total offense. Lance Panther's only throwing for 168.3 yards a game. As I mentioned, the Colts are 31st versus the run. The Indianapolis Star, their own newspaper, picked against the Colts. The Colts starting defensive ends have no sacks in their last 3 games. And the Indianapolis fans hate the coaches. They want them all fired. And also, Indianapolis is 2-6 against the spread this season. So for all those reasons, the turmoil, the bad team, I'm picking Atlanta.
Okay, hey, Scott, brothers. Hey, Scott. Before we move on, can I point out? You like to point out trends, right?
Yeah.
Dan, I've been noticing, has been using more of the more over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Dan's been using more of the against the spread stats. I like that. I've noticed that a trend. Dan's been using I like that.
I'd like to thank the Metro for that. They do an excellent job every Friday of giving statistics for betting against the spread.